Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 6th episode of The Lincoln Show. Thank you all for returning to listen or watch whatever you're doing with this podcast. It originally the reason why I've not uploaded an episode or created an episode in I think 4 months. I think is the correct time period. Is simply because it was a college project. And now I'm in university, as you can probably tell by the prison cell that is my accommodation. I've now got a lot of time in my hands. So I thought, why not keep this going? I love the project and still do. So why not keep it going? So yeah, a little bit about me. I'm now at university, as I just mentioned. I'm studying sports journalism, so it's something within the same sort of realm, and it's something I really want to get into a lot more. So this is a great vehicle for me, and yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see why I shouldn't continue with this podcast. I love producing it. I loved creating it back in college, and something I'm really passionate about, Lincoln City. So yeah, why not? But yeah, a massive thank you to everyone returning, because obviously you didn't have to, and hopefully the podcast can still be as good as it once was, as it once was. This sixth episode will be featuring myself, obviously, and George Colhoun, a previous collaborator on this podcast. And yeah, I'm really excited. I haven't recorded it yet. This is the day before, because I've been really busy today, so I can't record it today. But this is the day before, so yeah, hopefully it goes very well. Yeah, I'm waffling out my ass now. Yeah, thank you guys for listening, and yeah, hope to catch you guys soon. Bye. Hello and welcome back to the 6th episode of the Lincoln Show. I'm happy to be back, and I'm proud to be alongside a good friend of mine, Mr. George Colhoun. How are you doing today, mate?
I'm doing very, very well, and even better now that I'm on this prestigious Lincoln show. I am very glad to be here. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me back for a third time. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the return of this illustrious Lincoln show. So thank you very much, Henry. Appreciate the introduction as well.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, very illustrious, this show. Extremely illustrious. So obviously with yeah, yeah. So with the absence of this show, really, I've not really talked about the start of this season or any of this season, to be honest, other than like the kit reveal at the
Well, that
start
kind of
of
scared us all away with some of the kit ideas, didn't
yeah.
it?
I'm not. I mean, there's quickly glance on that. What's your thoughts of the home shirt?
In all seriousness, I thought it was a good idea. In mostly, I mean, it's not the greatest liquor shirt I've ever seen. Don't get me wrong, but I do like the whole vintage throwback to early 1970s, edition that we've got in there. I know we look a little bit like Rotherham, and it's going to cause a little kit clash with Stevie Evans, who's going to burst into tears as he usually does. But at the end of the day, like, I just think it's a decent kit, and it's a great, 1 year edition to bring back that retro. Shirts with a modern style can be very, very good. Of course, it'd be very, very bad, but I think we did decent this year with the kits. Second and third kit.
They're not horrible, are they?
No, absolutely.
They're not horrible.
The second kit is pretty decent as well. I remember my mum was watching with me on Chesham. She went, "Oh, that's a lovely, lovely kit they're wearing." It's like, "Oh yeah, that's the black and white second kit." She's like, "I love black and white." So I was like, "Shh, don't say this around this part." And then the third kit, well, I've already got it. It's a black T-shirt, isn't it?
It's just a black T-shirt, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, less said about the kits anyway, because that's really not that integral. So obviously the start of the season's happened, and we've signed a bunch of players, got rid of a bunch of players. I know who I think has had the most impact in the team from the new signings. I think we'd have the same player in mind, and my player would be Dariqua. How about you?
No, I think my favourite player's coming. No, of course it's Dariqua.
Yeah, he's had such an impact, hasn't he, on the
he has.
on the team.
I absolutely agree. Deriqua, here's the thing. Start of the season, I was looking at it and I was going, "Oh, when are we going to sign a bloody player?" Because there was a little period where it was like, "Oh yes, we're letting go of a few people, but we're not signing anyone." And I remember that very, very well. But then all of a sudden we make a few signings in a couple of days, and then all of a sudden you're seeing, first thing you see is League One, Championship, League Two, EFL Trophy, and I look up and I go, Deriqua, no way! Because what's really poignant is he played in that side that we beat, that was Premier League Burnley. He played as right back for that game. And then
it's not just that though; it's the actual overall experience Deriqua has in a team where Lincoln are so young. Like actually, like you've not got many players over the age of 25, really. So you need a rock like that, like Deriqua, to be there. So that is nice to see, because I did think that we were just going to go young for the sake of going young, like we have been doing, which isn't a bad thing, but you do need the experience of a Deriqua in your side.
Absolutely. It's a big, massive toss and turn, isn't it? I think as well, he adds that good level-headedness, that experience, because we have been lacking a 34-year-old, 33-year-old just to be like that exceptionally experienced, level-headed guy. I mean, I'm sure they're all level-headed, but I mean, is that guy that's played multiple games, know what it's like to play all levels of the football pyramid, you know, from the highest to the lower regions. And I just think that he's a great player to have. You know, his CV speaks for himself. He's still got the pace, and I think a lot of clubs, when he left Wigan in that 2022, I think a lot of clubs looked at him and go, "He's gone to Cyprus, he's past it." But no, Leicester City analysed the footage, and they were like, "You know what? He's still got the legs," and he has still got the legs, minus the Stockport player. But who can catch him? He's like Usain Bolt of League One.
Yeah, he was very good.
I was very, very surprised with the pace that he has for 33 going on 34. And the worry is, when do his legs go? But also you're thinking, he is an impressive specimen for his age. He plays like a 23, 24-year-old agility-wise. Of course, he's not going to be like his old self, but the experience he has, the positional awareness that he has, not only is he good at coming forward, but he's also good at dropping back at the right crucial moments, and his pace really helps him out a lot when the opposition is on the counter-attack or with the ball. So I just think that overall, he's a great replacement for Sorensen. Maybe not for long term, but definitely for our aims this season, he is a very good replacement, if not currently better.
I think the replacement for him being a replacement for Lars Sorensen, it's obviously not long term, like you mentioned. Like you can't sustain that long term. But if it's for a season, for 2 seasons, even if you try and maximize it, it really isn't a bad replacement. I mean, we don't feel like we're missing Sorensen, if that makes sense. I mean, obviously we kind of, I mean, I do, and a lot of fans will, but I don't think the team necessarily misses him because of how good Deriqua has been.
Absolutely. I still have my tissues from the day that he left, and if I'm honest, it's sad. It was sad. He was so part of the community. I've met the guy. He is such a lovely guy. I don't want to do that old Danny Cowley thing again. Do you remember?
Well, flashbacks to either episode 1 or 2. That was a good time.
It was, wasn't it? But he was such a good guy, and I love glazing players. He's such a great guy, and I could almost do an impression. He's such a great guy. And he was just overall a great character and the face of the club. And it was such a sad time to see him leave. But as you say, because of Deriqua's presence and because of how Deriqua is on and off the field, it doesn't feel like we're missing much. Age-wise, of course, but quality-wise, it's about the same, if not a bit better, because of the experience from Deriqua. Overall, I'm just very impressed with the replacement that we had. in the short amount of time was able to get Dariqua in, and I hope that I think he's good for a couple of seasons. I don't see him going on too much longer, but I do see him in the next couple of seasons. If we want to be playing for a place in a championship, he's going to be very crucial, Henry, and could be a future Lincoln captain in the making.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And
surprised it wasn't captain, if I'm honest, this season.
Yeah. I mean, I would give him it, to be honest. I don't think a lot of people would argue with that. But obviously, alongside these, I mean, we've signed Eric Ring, a player I really like in Eric Ring. Rob Street, JJ McKiernan, rather, not McKieran. Jesus Christ, get it right. We've signed Tom Bayliss, Dom Jeffries. The names keep coming, really. Cadavanteri from Wednesday on loan, obviously. I mean, it's a brand new team in essence, really. It's almost like a full rebuild from Skubala. I mean, obviously Skubala took hold, and only had a short window of time to make his own changes. Yeah, he took the side in November, so he only had that January. So now, especially with this summer, you can really see the identity of Skubala's what he wants from the team.
Absolutely, Henry. Yeah, totally agree. He's a great managerial signing. I know that I'm not going to say that. Actually, I was jumping the gun a bit, but what I was, I was getting a bit.
You got to say it now. You got to say it now.
But I will say it in these simple words. He is my favourite manager since the Cowleys, and that's how I will put it. And I'm sure you can draw conclusions of what I was going to say, but I think I was jumping the gun. He is a very good manager, very exceptional. I think he's the best manager we've had in years in terms of when plan A doesn't work, he's got a plan B. He's tactically very efficient for this league. Yes, at times you might think, oh, well, it's very simple, but it's very simple and effective and very entertaining football. And that's all I want. Every single time we step on a football pitch, you can guarantee that a Michael Skubala Lincoln side will always try their best. I don't ever get the impression, whenever he loses, even to Crawley, I don't ever get the impression that we didn't put the 100% effort into the game. And that, in my opinion, if you're going to lose football games, I'd rather that be the attitude. At least we give it a good go, and it just because we want good enough. And I feel that this Lincoln team is good enough to challenge for playoffs. We have been very efficient, and these new signings, Henry, have been outstanding. I mean, we haven't seen much of Tom Bayliss, have we, unfortunately, because of the injury and all that. But we have seen enough from McKiernan, as you mentioned. We have seen great length. We've seen more than enough from the Grandboys. He's come back for a third spell, the Scottish Kaka. He's had a massive impact here. Not a reference to that chant at all, but he's a great guy. No, absolutely. And Eric Ring, you look at his name and it just rings the bell of great signing, doesn't it?
Yeah, see what we did there.
You could say it has a great ring to it. He's a great guy. What a guy. I think he's a wonderful player, fast, energetic, creative, and he does score the odd goal. I'll say that he's not one of me, but you know what I mean. He's in that position. He's always looking active. He's always looking threatening when he comes on and off the pitch, and I like that from the youngster. And Lincoln with Jez George seemed to be, and as you know, I'm not a happy clapper because last season I had quite a bit to say, but this season I will rate the recruitment. Well, every season mostly I will rate the recruitment of Jez George. That was a good signing, and he's paying off so far. Is Eric Ring?
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, let's move on from the signings because we can talk all day about the signings. Lewis Monster is back in action now.
Oh, I remember it. Yes,
and that does put a smile on the face of every Lincoln fan. I mean, 2 years, effectively 2 years out of the game from nasty, horrible injuries. I mean, you've got to respect it because a lot of people want it. Like the average person probably couldn't even comprehend having like 2 ACLs.
Couldn't.
Like
I mean,
the actual like the concept of busting your ACL twice, like that's insane. So respect for him to come back. And then the game he was started, Stockport. Oh my God, did he put a foot wrong? No.
I'm really like,
it was special.
I am surprised and I'm not surprised. Lewis Monsmet out of anybody is least surprising when it comes to performances, performing on the big day and being a player that can come back. But honestly, I knew he was a strong character, and when you're a model as well, you do have to be a strong character because, you know, not only do you look good, but you have a lot of people saying, oh, you know, you could improve a bit here, your jawline's a bit wonky, Lewis, you know, and all that type of thing, or and all that. But by the way, I think Lewis Monsmet is a beautiful man, and even beautiful when he puts that link, even more beautiful when he puts that Lincoln shirt on. But what I will say,
you got a man crush over him, have you?
I have indeed. I mean, wasn't it evident from the other episode that he is. Even for him, I was surprised by his resolve to come back from 2 ACLs and play with the intensity that he has. He is a legend for doing that, and I hope to God that he doesn't have any more injuries like that, because I've seen a picture of an ACL and it's awful. It's almost as bad as, well, it's not as bad because Achilles you're done, but it's effectively the second worst injury to having your Achilles broke, isn't it? You know, it's it's in my opinion, the resolve and determination he's shown, the character he's shown to come back from these injuries. I hope he does get the extension. Touch wood, he don't get injury. I hope he gets the extension.
Honestly, I really hope we do.
He hasn't diminished at all, has he?
He hasn't
diminished at all. He hasn't diminished at all.
No, God no. No, yeah. If anything, I mean, he showed excellence in that Stockport game.
Even Harrogate.
Yeah. I really do hope he comes like properly back and he's one of our mainstay centre backs. Really do hope so.
For Lewis, it hurts you more as well when you look at his story, because he is a man that out of all the players has shown a lot of commitment. He sits with the fans every so often. I've not seen anyone, most clubs do that. I've also, I mean, I remember Bruno Andrade doing that, you know, as well. But he's done it more than anyone I've ever seen at Lincoln, sitting in the stands, and also like he says everything positive about Lincoln. He stayed here throughout his time. I've even spoke to his brother on and off, and he's told me how much Lewis, I'm sure don't mind me saying, he's told me how much Lewis loves Lincoln and the family like it here. So Lewis is a proper Lincoln man at heart. He's proven, coming back from 2 ACLs, I mean, he's done more than go beyond the call of duty there. And he is, for me, a Lincoln legend. Without a doubt, for just doing that. I mean, he plays week in, week out. And I know it sounds like I'm lazy, but he plays in, week out. And it looks like to me that he plays like it's his home club. He plays like it's his local town, with everything, puts everything into his performance. And I can just want to just say thank you so much, Lewis, to playing. And I hope that he can continue his career, touch wood, without any further niggles or injuries.
Of course. I mean, it was horrible. I was at both of the games when he did his ACL first time, and then the second time around. It's horrible to see.
Both at some point as well, unfortunately.
It's horrible to see, and hopefully he's fine and he can be as strong as ever and not have to go through that. But yeah, no.
The thing is, as well, he had to come on, didn't he, quite early because due to an injury as well. So he was effectively playing 2 games on the bounce, and he slotted in so well, and he plays. It's like he hasn't been off the pitch for 2 years, Henry. And I know it might sound to some people like, oh yeah, well, you're just saying that because you love Lewis. No, generally, he honestly in the Stockport game, I thought, that's just the Lewis Monsmet that played how he played before he did his ACL. The second time, you know, he just looked normal. In fact, he played better in these last couple of games than he did his first initial return from his first ACL, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good. I mean, I can't fault the guy. I mean, he's had so much, and he's been excellent. So it's hard to fault him. But anyway, enough glazing. Enough bloody hell, I can't even speak English. Glazing today of Lewis Monsma. Let's look at our most recent results, because that's what the show really is about. So let's go with the most recent game. Obviously, we had the FA Cup draw. Well, not the draw. We didn't draw. We won.
Thank God.
Again, thank Christ. Against Chesham. Over in Chesham. And we won that 4-0. Obviously, Moylan scoring that goal just before the strike of half time. Makama then scoring a goal. McGrandles then scoring a goal. And then our youngster, Zayn Okoro, I presume is how you pronounce it. Who's 16, by the way. 16 years of age. Almost got his name on the score sheet, but unfortunately it's an own goal for the lad.
I thought you were about to say almost got his name on the school sheet, which would probably be very accurate.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's where his name is, isn't it? School.
Yeah,
16 years
absolutely.
old. But fair play
he
to
was so
the lad.
close, wasn't he? It hit the leg of the keeper, bounced off the leg, hit the defender and went in. And honestly, I don't think he minds, because it gave the team a goal.
Oh, of course. I don't. He's probably not there like being upset about the fact it wasn't his goal. I'm sure no, but you know, what a way to start your professional career.
Absolutely. Yeah, I 100% agree. He looked decent. I mean, I didn't see as many because he came on as a sub, right? But that one moment he did show was good composure. And again, you can sit there and say that deflection helped, and it certainly did. You can't deny that.
Oh, of course.
To be able to get in that position and be able to trouble the defence and the goalkeeper like that, you never know what can happen when you're in those positions. And luckily for him, it produced a goal regardless. Of course, it's poor defending from them, but again, they're against a League One club, and they're not, with the greatest respect to Chesham, they're not on the level of these boys week in and week out.
Oh,
but they gave a great account of themselves, got a couple of good shots, and the keeper made an outstanding save against McKiernan. I want to say shout out to the keeper. He was good that night, and as much as the goals did get flying, he did make a couple of good saves, and he looked good. And yeah, well on the team for Chesham for trying. I don't want to sound patronising, but they showed up. They had the most amount of revenue that they generated from kit sales than they did in the last 25 years in existence. And I'm very happy that money, I hope that money helps them, because as you know, in grassroots football, sometimes football isn't very kind to these little clubs, and the FA Cup being rechanged and stuff has definitely caused a few eye raisers. But in my opinion, I'm very, very thankful and happy that Chesham got good amount of money, and it was a big draw for them. One of the biggest games they played in the last probably 2-3 decades.
Yeah, especially with all the TV money and like you say, the kit sales. I'm sure went up, and ticket sales. The reason why we say thank God, I mean, I said thank God to quote myself, that we won that, is because again, like under Kennedy, we lost to Chippenham in the first round. Where that shouldn't be happening. I mean, we almost lost to Bowes. Do you remember the Bowes and Pitsea game?
Oh God!
We could not do anything against them. So that's why I'm saying thank God we could beat Chesham. It's crazy. It's crazy.
With the greatest of respect, that's the least you expect from a game like that. The scoreline and how we played. I mean, we played with an absolute professional guile, and we didn't underestimate them at all.
Oh, of course not. And you never do.
But in previous games, we have struggled, and you do call into question the attitude, or maybe even just the performance levels. I mean, again, these little lower league clubs, the great thing they have in these games is they just turn up and they play their best. They play with nothing to lose, and they play better because of that attitude. And if they score a goal, they can just shut up shop and make it a nightmare. And then all of a sudden, the big team, like, you know, I don't want to say us because we're not a great, like, massive team compared to your Man City, but compared to them, we're quite a big team, and it puts panic into the squad. You're like, oh, we need to get that goal now, and then often that creates frustration, and then you're less likely to score because of that mindset. So these teams, I do worry about going into. I was worried about Chesham, and people might laugh at me, but it's these kind of teams that cause you problems, especially if you're not switched on.
Yeah, exactly the same here. I was slightly worried about this Chesham draw. Because it was of the magnitude for Chesham of it, if that makes sense. Like, I was slightly worried coming into it. Obviously, we lost against Chesham. We almost lost against Bowes and Pitsea. So there's always that in the back of your head. Like, are we going to get complacent? If you think that's the reason, or are we just going to struggle because the way that a very low side, like lower on the pyramid side play?
It would have been, we wouldn't have heard the end of it if we lost. Put it that way.
No, God no. Like we'd like when Chippenham beat us, to be honest.
God, well, I can't believe that. I still can't believe that. The less said about that, the better.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. Yeah. But alongside winning against Chesham, we're also doing very well in the league, aren't we? At the minute, very well in the league. For reference, right now it's the 6th of November, and we are currently fifth in the league.
Absolutely, we are doing very, very well in League One, as you say. It's been an odd season in a sense, great season, but also odd in the sense of we've kind of, Mansfield have been in other games better than us, but we absolutely spanked them. So, and they're a couple of points ahead of us as it stands. But I find our league season really strange because we've lost a couple of games we shouldn't have, but I'm not talking about Birmingham. We never had a right to even play them. Let's be honest. But but like Crawley 3-0, I was like eyebrow raiser at one point, and a lot of fans, I suppose, are a bit thicker when they say, "Oh, it's the end." And I'll be honest, I was a bit pessimistic after that game, but then we showed great guile to bounce back from that loss, and I just think that we've been mostly up, but a couple of little question marks answered. But so far, I feel that we've answered them with brilliance, and we look like good, real playoff contenders, and we're certainly playing like.
And we're playing exactly like playoff contenders, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, with we've beaten big sides, Mansfield are doing very well at the minute, really.
Yeah.
You could argue they're a big side right now in the league if you really want to, and we spanked them, like you said. We really have. We have had a few draws, a few draws, like your Blackpool and Wigan and Peterborough. We had that all in the same like sort of time span as well, so that was quite wasn't really that good. Obviously, Hamer took us out of that at Blackpool, thankfully, because we could have lost there quite drastically.
Absolutely. Before I forget about I wanted to say about the Mansfield and all that. We spanked Mansfield, which I was going into that game very well because I thought we've not only got they've been a bogey side for us in the past with our draw, lost to them in the league. We hadn't beaten them in the league since the late noughties, and then it was great to beat them in the league, of course. We only used to beat them in cup competitions, but also people were underestimating Stockport. For some people are like, "Oh yeah, we'll walk through Stockport." And I remember a mate, I'm not going to name him, but you know who you are, when you said, "If we don't get 9 points for the next 3 games, I expect to get 9 points for the next 3 games." I was thinking, "No, man." And then we lost 3-0 to Crawley. I was thinking, yeah, we deserved that. you did that, mate. No, but no seriousness, all respect to you. You know you well, but no, I was just thinking, why are we underestimating Stockport? Stockport have won their respective league. They've been very good so far for how they've been. I was thinking if anybody's going to beat us, it's going to be a Stockport. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and they were at the time, Stockport, obviously they've had a bit of a, I think. No, they've been no. I mean, they lost to Wickham 5-0. I mean, that Wickham are on top, right? Wickham are insane right now.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
So
I agree.
I don't blame them for that really. But you know, I mean they were drawing quite a lot before us, but
I mean, they
you know,
smashed Reading, didn't they?
yeah, they
And
smashed Reading 4-1. Just after
and
actually.
they're a mid-table supremacy borderline playoff side, aren't they? By the looks of things at the moment, because you look
Yeah.
at them, they can play really well on their day, and then on their day they can also produce a stinker. But you know, you just get fearful that on their day they might just play that great game that they play, and then they lose. But going back to as you say, Mr. Hamer at the back. Oh my goodness me, what a same game
Yeah.
momentum.
Yeah.
Blackpool, legendary. Like and obviously legend gets said a lot, and I don't mean he's a Lincoln legend, he's not. But what I mean is he's not yet. He's what I mean is he's a not only is a hammer in the side, Hamer, he's also like he's just a player. You get those certain players that produce moments in big moments, and he looks like that type of player. We had no right to win that game with the way that we played and the way that it was going. And it was the literal last second of the game before the whistle was going to be blown, and he equalised a very important point. And we'd arguably not be in the playoffs if it wasn't for that point right now. So all thanks to Hamer and a very, very important goal against a decent side as well. So, and I just like his tenacity, his clearances, his no nonsense about him, and he gets good headers as well. You know, he wins the ball very well, and he can produce big moments, as I say.
Yeah, no, 100%. Who do we have
I think
next?
we're about 20 minutes
Bristol.
left.
We have Bristol Rovers next on the 9th. My birthday. Send me presents, please. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, we have Bristol Rovers away from home on the 9th on the Saturday. What can we expect from that game, really? I mean, what I expect to win, to be honest. Bristol haven't been ace, I would say. I mean, losing to the likes of Reading, Huddersfield. You know, it's not brilliant, but I expect to win.
For where they are, they've beaten teams in front of them like Shrewsbury that you'd kind of and that game was very close. And I was thinking, well, it's not looking good if you're struggling against Shrewsbury.
Exactly.
But and they've lost quite a few games, quite close games. But no, I think that we on paper are the favourites, but the moment that you underestimate anybody in this league is the moment you get undone, and a Crawley can happen, a creepy Crawley. But like
He's on
you
fire
know,
with his puns today.
but you get, you know, with a creepy Crawley, you like to brush him off, and hopefully with Bristol Rovers today, when we play him, we can brush him off. I mean, Rovers are one of those teams. They could produce an upset, but I do fully expect to win. I expect to win 2-0, maybe 2-1. I don't think any game's easy in this league, but I do expect. I say expect is a big word. It feels like I'm underestimating them, but I do, on paper, feel that we should be aiming to win that game, of course.
Yeah.
Against Bristol, and I believe that we will. We're on good momentum at the minute. That Crawley result and the Birmingham result shook us up and woke us up, I think, a little bit, and we're
Yeah,
playing
it was
some
the
fun football.
kind of the cold water, wasn't it? That was the right wake up now
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
get your act together. Come on, yeah.
Yeah. I think that result, it's those type of results really tell a lot about a squad, because I've seen squads before go on a good start to the season and they have a result like that, and it just they become a mid-table team, and it was always a question of, do we have the resolve to respond to a result like that? And last season coming from being mid-table to being nearly in the playoffs did suggest so, but a couple of players left, so you're thinking. But then, no, we have shown character, very good character in the last few games, and shown that we are here to play, in the playoff positions, and I'm very happy overall with how we're playing. A few improvements, but that's anybody that needs improvements. But overall, I think I've been very happy with the football. It's been entertaining, and we don't look like we give up, and regardless of what happens. And I've seen Joe Taylor at the games recently. I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's at the games." I would love nothing more to see him come back.
I mean, he's not playing for Luton, is he?
No, he's not. Yeah.
From what I've gathered, and Luton are doing awful at the minute.
Yeah. Oh man, absolutely. It might be another loan spell, or hopefully a permanent, but it's a very big ask.
That's like a pipe dream, really.
Maybe another loan spell, and if he does get the loan in, you kind of feel that it will probably be because Cadamarfi's been recalled. I don't know. I don't want to.
No, we have him for a full season. I don't think they can recall him.
All right, okay. So if we do get him in, him and Cads are going to be cooking.
I think it's Saxon early. I've been told Plymouth Argyle want.
Oh, Rooney said that he wants to pull Saxon back.
Yeah, so
not being played. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Quickly before we end, score predictions. Always like to end on a score prediction. What's your score prediction for the Bristol Rovers game?
2-1. I think 2-1. I'm not very confident of clean sheets too much.
Okay.
I do believe we've got a good defence, but I think.
Do you believe in Wickens?
I do believe in Wickens, and I know that sounds a bit contradictory, but I do feel that we are prone to letting a goal in to wake us up. It has been a big kind of theme this season of going 1-0 down and then responding. Not every single game, but we do kind of have that thing of needing to be woken up a little bit.
Yeah.
I saw it in the Burton game. I saw it in the Stockport game, and I'm very sure we will see it in the Bristol Rovers game. If it's either going to be 2-1 or 2-0, in my opinion. I don't, I think that will be the scoreline, and I do see us winning. And I say surprised. I will be surprised if we lose that one. Yes, but Bristol might be awake that day. You never.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say a 3-0 win.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be very optimistic with that.
Yeah, nice one.
Go 3-0 win for the Imps.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, George, for coming on today.
Been a pleasure.
The 6th episode of the Lincoln Show. Hopefully to have you back soon. Absolutely. And hope to catch you guys next time. Bye.